Welcome, time for some art fun. Today I'm going to take you with me for some very low pressure fun sketches in my tinted or toned, however you want to say it, sketchbook. So stick around. In my video about my art goals for 2023, I talked about wanting to stretch, wanting to do more landscapes and portrait work, and maybe even using materials that I'm not used to using as often. And then I watched a video from Moni D. Major, a lovely fellow artist here on YouTube whom I adore. And she did a video where she was doing a portrait because portraits are her thing. That's her jam. That's one of the things that she does repeatedly on her channel, and she is really, really good at it. And she was talking about how she doesn't think we need to stretch, quote unquote, need to stretch to enjoy our art and to improve. And I was intrigued because, as you probably know from watching my channel and even reading the name of this channel, my jam is to make a cute animal. That's my favorite thing to do. That is what puts me in my flow zone the fastest. I absolutely love making cute animal art. And yet I feel almost guilty making, quote unquote, too much. And I'm going to probably say quote unquote so many times in this video, so I apologize in advance. But I really do. I start to feel like, oh, am I making too much cute animal art and not trying to improve any particular skills, any, focus on getting better at facial proportions of human beings, or mixing skin tones with my watercolor, or trying to make a skin tone with Posca pens or watercolor brush pens, or anything that I'm not as used to using to make any subject that I'm not as used to making. And that video really reminded me that my little tagline for this channel is a real thing. It is a real sentiment that I truly believe in, which is that when you pick up your materials, it should be time for some art fun. This is not a channel about how to be a professional artist. I'm not a professional artist. I do this for fun. I do this to relax. I do it to unwind. I do it to get out of my head after a long day or a long week of working hard, and I do it to just giggle and smile. I cannot tell you how many times during a drawing or during a painting, I'm just laughing and giggling and saying, OMG, this is so cute! I love to feel like what I'm making is adorable. That's my favorite thing about art, and it's my favorite thing to do with art. And I know that a lot of the people who watch my channel use art the same way. You might have different things you're doing, maybe you're doing botanicals, like our wonderful friend Sketches and Scrubs, who loves to relax with florals, and that flows for her, and that's much easier for her than it is for me. If I tried to put together a floral, it's a mess. It's a total mess. I don't even know if you've ever seen a floral on my channel for that reason. So everyone has a different subject matter that they're drawn to, or style of art that they're drawn to, or art material that they are drawn to for that unwind factor. But I genuinely think my audience is largely made up of people who use supplies of any kind, whether that's art supplies or journaling supplies, to unwind, relax, and take the pressure off. So watching that video by Moni really did make me think to myself, why am I putting pressure on? There's already, a slight modicum of pressure from having an art YouTube channel. I don't experience a ton of pressure because I don't have any particular goals with the channel other than to make friends, and really to stay motivated to make art consistently because I have people to share it with. It helps me not fall off the pattern of making art fairly daily. But I genuinely think, why am I treating this like it's a graduate level art course? I'm not in school for art anymore. I graduated with my minor in art. That's done. I have that basic knowledge, and this is what I want to use it for. Silly, cute babies like this in my sketchbook. And even knowing you all are here for it the same way that I am, for some reason, I will talk myself out of it. I will talk myself right into feeling like a level of guilt for not stretching enough, for not practicing enough, for not focusing on a technique or something like that. But when I let go of that, and I feel like I have permission to let go of that, I just play and I am having the best time. And things like this just come out. They just appear. And they're not master works of art that are going to go in the gallery. That's not my goal. That's not what I'm doing. When I have a friggin' Signo pen, and a sketchbook filled to the brim with this very thin toned gray paper that I'm just trying to fill up with fun things, there is no part of my brain that is thinking this is high art and it's competing with like the Mona Lisa or whatever you feel, whatever Van Gogh, for me it's Van Gogh, whatever Van Gogh painting you feel is like the most beautiful thing you could sit and stare at for days. I'm not trying to compete with that. I just want to enjoy my supplies and my life. Honestly, just my life. This is such a fun thing. And I feel like after I put something really adorable down on paper, whether it's more like my finished pieces, like on canvas or on larger watercolor paper, or just fun sketchbook doodly type things like this, I love going back and looking at them. I get so much pleasure from that. So for this week's video, I decided to take you with me two of the places that I love to sketch most. On my couch at home, and you could probably see when I was making this little funny sloth at home, using one of my couch cushions as a desk, like a lap desk. And my husband was watching a movie, I had my headset in, and I was just drawing away. And it was so much fun. I did use a reference picture from Pexels for both of the sketches that you're going to see today, but the final drawings really look almost nothing like those. They're very unrecognizable compared to those reference pictures because I really went cartoony. And the second place that I really love to do this kind of super duper low pressure sketching for fun without any expectations of what it's going to look like or having any kind of a plan for composition or color combinations or any of that is to go to Panera with my sketch box and my sketchbook and just go to town. And I have markers, Posca pens, this little red and green and white tin that you're seeing over here on the side that has some watercolor in it and some Neocolor II water-soluble crayons that I like to use. Today I decided to just use my fountain pen. This is a Sailor LaCool with a medium fine nib that I like to do for permanent sketching. It has permanent black ink in it from Platinum. It's called the Platinum Carbon ink. And I also wanted to use my Posca pens. So I had so much fun drawing this little hippo baby to be friends with that little heart-nosed sloth on the other page. And my husband was reading. I was just making this. We were both enjoying our tea, and it was so much fun. And this is far more the style of making art that I personally prefer and that I want to spread awareness of, I guess. I feel like on ArtTube, we have a tendency to show a lot more of our finished pieces, our fancy work, the stuff we're doing when we have time to settle in at an art desk, maybe even in an art studio with fancy lighting, and really hone in on a craft. And obviously that is something I also do, but I far more often lately am doing stuff like this because I just don't have time to do that other type of art every day. And if I put that pressure on myself to make that kind of level of art every day, I will miss out on having a relationship with my husband. I'll miss out on reading. I'll miss out on talking to my friends and catching up on the phone. I'll miss out on playing with my dog. So I really do this type of thing far more often. And the idea that this wouldn't hone my skills or wouldn't make me a better artist or improve my ability to see as an artist now sounds to me silly when I say it out loud. When I think I believed that, I'd internalized that sort of perspective, and I don't agree with it at all. I just don't agree with it at all. I know that when I do even easier stuff than this, way easier, my 30-second to 1 minute draw with your non-dominant hand with a 50-cent Crayola marker and looking in the mirror and not looking down, sometimes that's all I can do in a day. And that helps my creativity. That keeps my mind in the way of seeing things as an artist sees them, observing and working on my observation skills. Just note with this one too, I was making decisions as I went, and you can really see that with the funny arms on this little hippo baby. Those pink arms were driving me up a wall, and I did end up getting rid of them. I also forgot to put the whites in the eyes, the accents in the eyes, while I was filming this, so you'll see it in a picture at the end. But this was just the lowest pressure, funniest of funner, nothing funner. You know what I mean? If we're being grammatically incorrect. It was so fun. So I just wanted to share that with you because I know Moni said it in a video that it's okay if you have same face syndrome as a portrait artist. Go ahead and paint that same face every single time. Who cares? What is the problem? Like, what are we doing? So I just wanted to share that because I had thought that to myself and I was reining myself in from making what was giving me the most joy. And I'm through with that. I'm just here to have fun and I'm going to keep doing it. And I hope you'll join me. Remember to click the like if you enjoyed this video and leave me a comment with your thoughts. Check if you're subscribed, and if you're not, I would so appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. Until next time, remember, create something cute.